Welcome to the English class. So, as we used to do in our St.Francis school, let's begin this class by seeking the blessings of the Almighty. Yes, thank you. Now please be seated comfortably and listen to me carefully. In the previous classes, you have been listening to the wonderful story of the Chinese statue written by Jeffrey Archer. And I have already explained to you in detail the first 10 pages from the textbook. And today I would like to deal with the last part of the story. Before that, let me just repeat the storyline so that you may get the flow of the story. The story begins in an auction room at Sotheby's for auctioning a Chinese statue. The narrator gets interested in knowing how the Chinese statue reached the auction room. The statue was brought to London by Sir Alexander Heathcote from China when he was posted there as a British ambassador. Sir Alexander, during his stay in Peking, went into the outlying districts to learn more about the country and its people. On one such journey, he came across a statue of Emperor Tung. It was in the possession of an aging craftsman. Sir Alexander was wonderstruck by the beauty of the statue and unwittingly wished for the piece to belong to him. The craftsman was obliged to give this statue as a gift to him, following the old Chinese custom which forbade one from saying no to an honored guest. Since the statue had no base, the craftsman selected an ornate base from his own collection and fixed the statue on it. Sir Alexander reciprocated the craftsman by getting a house built for him on the hill, where the craftsman had wished to live the rest of his life. From Sir Alexander, the statue passed on to his heirs, who kept it safely as per his will. Alex Heathcote, Sir Alexander's great-great-grandson, brought the statue to Sotheby's to auction the family heirloom to settle his gambling debts. So dear children, we have reached so far, and now let us continue with the rest of the story. So kindly take your textbook, page number 69, the second last paragraph. It begins like this: the worst did come to the worst. Okay, now tell me, what is the meaning of this particular phrase? The worst did come to the worst. Do you remember the meaning of this phrase, what I explained in the last class? Yeah. If the situation develops in the most serious or unpleasant way, that means all the negative things, bad things, occur in its maximum or in its climax, then we can say the worst did come to the worst. Okay, now tell me, what happened to Alex? Who was Alex? How the situation became worse for him? So let us go back once again. When Sir Alexander Heathcote obtained the statue, he considered it as the most valuable treasure and gave clear-cut instructions in his will that it should be passed on to the firstborns in his family and must be protected as the family heirloom for generations. Therefore, his firstborn, Major James Heathcote, and his firstborn, Right Reverend Alexander, and his firstborn, Captain James Heathcote. All of them did their best with the statue. Then what happened? Yes, it was the unexpected, sudden, tragic death of Captain James Heathcote which made everything upside down. Yeah, young Captain James was killed in the battlefront and he died intestate. That means before writing the will, he died. He died so young. Hence, naturally, the Ming statue came into the possession of his firstborn. That was Alex. And you remember how old was Alex that time? Just 2 years old, such a small boy. Then you know the coming story. Since his dad was no more, his mom thought nothing should lack for Alex in his life. So whatever he asked, she provided. And in the words of his grandmother, he became a little spoiled brat. And you know what was his ambition? Just one desire he had: to earn money and to enjoy life without doing any work. Is it fair? Or is it even possible? No. But Alex found out his own ways for earning money without working. That was by playing roulette, a gambling game. But instead of earning money, he lost everything and soon came under heavy debts. That was when Alex took such a crucial and critical decision to sell off their family property, that was the Chinese statue. Now, dear students, please look into your textbook and read along with me. The worst did come to the worst, as each one of Alex's newly refined system took him progressively into greater debt until the casinos began to press him for payment. When finally, one Monday morning, Alex received an unsolicited call from two gentlemen who seemed determined to collect some 8,000 pounds. He owned their masters and hinted at bodily harm if the matter was not dealt with within 14 days. Did you understand? So one particular day, one Monday morning, Alex is getting a call from the casinos from two gentlemen. Unsolicited call means unexpected, unwanted, uninvited call he got. And he received a message that if he is not able to pay back the money within 40 days, he will be attacked physically. So, the next sentence you see, Alex caved in. Caved in means to collapse, to faint, to die as from overexertion, or another meaning to surrender, to defeat, to acknowledge defeat. That means Alex was trapped in. Now he is so much tensed and he has to admit surrender or defeat. Alex gave in. After all, his great-great-grandfather's instructions had been exact. The Ming statue was to be sold if the family honor was ever at stake. So he was aware of the fact that in case the family honor was at stake, then only the statue has to be sold. And this is the particular situation he reached. Now there is no other option. So he is taking off the statue from the mantelpiece and taking it to the auction. That is what explained in the next paragraph. Alex took the little emperor off the mantelpiece in his Thottada parents' flat and stared down at his delicate handiwork, at least having brains to feel a little sad at the loss of the family heirloom. So when he was taking away the statue from the mantelpiece, at least he showed the grace to look at its handiwork. Maybe for the first time he is looking at the beauty of the statue, and he may be feeling shame for taking it away. 100 years it was there with their family. Now he is the one taking it away from their family forever. So that feeling of sad, little bit. He then drove to Bond Street and delivered the masterpiece to Sotheby's, giving instructions that the emperor should be put up for auction. So Bond Street, that is where the auction house Sotheby is situated. He is reaching there and handing over to the statue to the concerned authorities and telling that you can put up this statue for auction. Now turn the page. The head of the Oriental Department, a pale, thin man, appeared at the front desk to discuss the masterpiece with Alex, looking not unlike the Ming statue he was holding so lovingly in his hands. So the concerned man, the authority, appeared at the front desk, and for him, Alex appeared just like the Ming statue. So here the particular expression, looking not unlike the Ming statue, means looking alike. So the man is thinking, the young man who is holding the statue, he is looking like the statue. And Alex was holding it lovingly in his hand. Then the expert is replying, it will take a few days to estimate the true value of the piece, he purred. But I feel confident on a cursory glance that the statue is as fine an example of pen as we have ever had under the hammer. He purred means, purred, the meaning of purred, speak in a low, soft voice expressing contentment. So with satisfaction, in a low voice he is telling, it will take a few days to estimate the true value of the piece. But I feel confident on a cursory glance. Cursory glance means in a casual look or in a hasty way, not going through the details. Casually or at a glance I can tell this statue will get a very good price. Because it is from Pen-Q, one of the greatest artists of the world. And this is the first time we are getting such a piece under hammer, means for auction. So the man was very happy to get that type of piece.